Cancer, how are you? Welcome to your October 2016 Love and General Tarot card readings. Quick reminder to follow me on Instagram if you wish. It's at Jane International. I can be found there. Definitely have a lot of travels coming up in the next coming season and would love to have you there with me. So let's get started with your love reading for October 2016. Love reading. It's a very interesting reading, especially for love. You can see all these. Okay. I'll start in the center with you, Cancer, Knight of Cups. Okay. This tells me that you are open, right? You're either open to meeting someone new, or you are open to leaving someone behind, okay? Some of you may be doing that. And open to just new possibilities, alone or with your partner, or with, a potential partner, or with your existing committed relationship. It's a nice place for you to be. It's a very innocent place for you to be, I feel. And, the Knight of Cups, too, is an interesting energy that isn't afraid to talk about stuff. It's not afraid to attack issues, or it's not afraid to open up and be honest in terms of the way that you're actually really feeling. And, I do feel like there is something that needs to be discussed, right? Or something that needs to be addressed. We have the Knight of Cups surrounded by the Ten of Swords and the Four of Wands reverse. And Ten of Swords is that, okay, universe, I'm done. I'm sick of talking about it. I think I'm sick of thinking about it. This is a transformation that you can feel, right? There's a lot of a negative connotation around the Ten of Swords, which can be, maybe someone hurt you, maybe someone betrayed you, all right? There's definitely an element of that with your backs turned to one another, you and someone else. Someone betrayed you or treated you poorly. Said something that sort of came back around to you. And I feel like you are at a place where, you're not angry, maybe you're just disappointed. And if you're totally single and not in a committed relationship, this can even go as far as, you're tired of your options, you're tired of dating, excuse me, and you're not going to put up with it anymore. With dating, sometimes we sort of accumulate patterns. We kind of date the same kind of people over and over. And I feel that you might recognize this in yourself. You might recognize some form of behavior within yourself that you are tired of. But if you are in a committed relationship, I think there was something done to you, or there was some type of behavior that affected you greatly. But you know what? Here you are, Knight of Cups. Let's just lay it all out on the table and let's just hash it out. Let's not hold back our punches. Let's say what we got to say, and let's make a decision to move forward or not. Let's make a decision to split or not. And but let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. Let's not keep everything up in the air in this fantasy, intangible world. Let's bring it down to reality. Let's get down to brass tacks and figure it out. And only time will really tell how it kind of unfolds. Now be careful, because we are, finishing the reading with the Five of Cups, which tells me that there might be, for some of you, I feel that you might be making major decisions to break up. Not all of you, okay? Some of you that are in great relationships, I'll get to that in just a moment. But, I feel that there's something breaking or changing significantly, and I think that this will happen quite quickly. I feel that maybe you might come to the conclusion that things are not fair, okay? And I think that this might be an issue. This is like a non-negotiable issue, right? This is a deal breaker type of thing, where you can't put up with it, you don't deserve it, and you have to decide whether or not you want to live with that in your life or not. And I think a lot of you are going to choose not, because you're looking for a situation that is fair, that is equal, that you give as much as you receive, and same for the other person. And I don't know if that is the type of situation that some of you are in. Now, if you are in a really good relationship, doesn't mean that things don't happen, doesn't mean that things don't affect you, that someone can hurt you. For the time being, maybe you two are maybe on different pages, you're not connecting in a very specific way, there may be some distance between the two of you, therefore making it feel like your world is not as stable or your relationship is not as concrete, therefore causing you, I think, to question this person's role in your life and their role in your life. Your role in theirs and yours. Yeah. But again, be careful, right? Because the Five of Cups is finishing this reading. And the Five of Cups warns us to not so much focus on the bad, but to appreciate and feel gratitude for the good, right? And a reminder to forgive and forget. Forgetting is hard. Forgiving is easy sometimes, but it's the forgetting that's hard. And, when you're dealing with something this severe or this heavy, whether it is a betrayal or whether it is, something that affects you directly, this can even be, if you're married and your partner spent too much money, therefore hindering your ability to do X, Y, and Z, or to go on your family vacation or something like that, right? It doesn't have to be, in terms of cheating or anything like that. A betrayal can come in many, many forms and different levels of severity as well. And I do feel that you will be quite stubborn on the issue, that you will have, a standard that you're not willing to lower, okay? That's why I think some of you may decide to move on, because you are moving here, you are looking for a relationship that is equal, you are looking for a relationship of generosity and giving and understanding. And maybe this person, isn't necessarily totally on that page with you. Queen of Cups can be an interesting character, right? All the court cards, or all the cards actually, have their good side and they all sort of have their bad side. And the Queen of Cups can often be, taking it a little bit to the negative, not that I'm trying to project that, but, some things that might come into play are some of the negative characteristics of your partner, right? Like we all have good and bad. A little bit of the controlling side or manipulating side, or a little bit of like pressuring and projecting expectations onto you, and maybe expectations that you don't want for yourself, that you don't want in your life, therefore causing that emotional disconnection. And oftentimes, what's interesting here is I feel that this is not something that will be prolonged, right? This is something that will come in and will go out. It depends on how it's going to go out, though. Some of you will decide to make it work, all right? Maybe some of you will decide to look at the good qualities in your partner. It will look at the good things in your love situation. You've built a life together. You have accomplish things together. But sorry, I was distracted for just a moment and I've never really paid attention to this before, but not only is he looking down at the cups that have spilled, but I feel like there's even a directionality toward this building, right? And the bridge that sort of leads to this building here. And sometimes when you do tend to look at things differently, you see outcomes that you didn't really think of before. This can also be a reminder of an open mind, right? Keeping an open mind, and to put your stubbornness, to put your, the word clenching is coming to mind. You're like clenching to an idea for dear life. To put that maybe aside and to look at and appreciate the majesty of your life and the majesty of what your partner can bring to the table. Or others of you are going to have something that is just unforgivable, something that has affected you too hard, has cut you too deep, and there's no rectifying it, and it just is what it is. And that change, may indicate some form of a departure, right? So I'm kind of seeing it going both ways for some of you, and hopefully, most of you can work past it, but I do feel like it's pretty cut and dry. It's either going to be one way or the other. Okay, Ace of Swords. I love the Ace of Swords. It's not the most romantic message, but it is about information, clarity, and understanding, and open-mindedness, seeing things from other ways. The fact that it is connected to the Four of Pentacles, and I kind of just said that about the Five of Cups, like, seeing the majesty of your life and the grand things that are in your life, as opposed to just focusing on the small. I mean, the cups are this big and the building is huge, and, relatively speaking, how important are these issues? Some of you will have big issues, okay? Ten of Swords is not a light energy. It's not easy. It's tough. It's challenging. And I'm not trying to make light of what may occur for some of you, but also keep in mind not to, blow things out of proportion, right? Keep things, react accordingly, I guess, is really how it's coming down to it, okay? Now, I feel like there's someone else for some of you, right? Now, this someone else, if you're dating, it could be you decide to leave one person and move toward another. If you are in a serious relationship, this will indicate two sides of maybe someone, right? Two sides of someone. And for some of you, it may actually indicate two different people, whether you're in a relationship or not. But I feel that your energy is moving this way, and this person may represent this balance and generosity, okay? So if it is the opposite side of your partner, it is very much the opposite side. And, this King of Pentacles, kings in general, no matter which suit, they are about expansion, right? And expanding the circle, not just for themselves, but to others around them, right? They are the builders of legacy, builders of generations, and they lay the groundwork for families and organizations to thrive. All right, now this may, again, speak to you in different ways, but this either side of your partner or this person, I feel is representative of what you want, representative of the ideal that you have, right, and the standards that you have, and representative of the generosity that you seek and the kindness and the nurturing. This isn't necessarily someone that would stab you in the back, or you don't think that they would, right? It's the kind of, we all have good sides and bad sides. King of Pentacles has his stuff too, but I feel that there's a split in the way that you're thinking about your partner or the people that you're dating. And the Seven of Swords I don't like, because it indicates fear and doubts getting in your way and sort of like self-sabotaging yourself. And some of you may stay in relationships that aren't necessarily the best because you love this person. I'm not saying you don't love this person. I'm not saying they're not a good person, but sometimes the compatibility, you really are heading in two different directions. Your hearts are leading you. The hearts represented by the cups are pointing in opposite directions. Your actions, your movement is going opposite. So if you are to stay, you may be denying yourself the beauty of someone else or something else. If this does indicate the two sides of your partner, right? I'm kind of sensing that you might, that your partner has these qualities, so why aren't they behaving this way? Why aren't they giving you what you want? Why aren't they loving you in the way that you need to be loved, right? And I feel that there's going to be something that comes to light, or maybe even a recognition of this side of them, and that there might be I'm going to say, this may sound weird, but there might be like a hesitancy for you to let that side in. It's the ideal, it's great, it's all, but still at the end of the day, it's very grandiose, it's very big. And you might be afraid of actually attaining it. You might be afraid of, I asked for it, and now here it is. And now I don't really know what to do with it, and sometimes it's that, be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. And for those of you, again, who are totally single and dating, and this could represent two different people, again, here could be someone that's quite, quote unquote, perfect for you, that has everything that you wanted, and yet somehow you feel like you miss this person, or you long for the things that are comfortable, the things that you understand. You look at the cups and the minuscule things as opposed to the big picture, as opposed to the big, building in the background. And so just be aware of that. I don't think it's going to really hurt or harm you. Like I said, I think this might be, it's definitely going to be a stressful situation. Okay, but it's not going to last forever. And if you are committed to someone in a relationship, it's just a little brief little phase that I think will fade quickly. And I hope I didn't confuse you. I just saw it going so many ways. It's like, if you're in a relationship, it needs to be this way. If you're not, it needs to go this way. And if, there's just different scenarios with how it could go. And I wanted to at least touch on all of them a little bit. So it applies maybe, or resonates a little bit more for different scenarios. So I'm going to leave it with that. Okay, I'm going to leave it with that, and I'm going to shuffle, and we're going to do your general reading now. I'm not going to take any pop-ups right now. Okay, so the general reading. One of the first words that came to mind as I was laying these out, when this card came out, we have the moon surrounded by two aces, moon reverse with the ace and the ace. And the word that came to mind was illumination, okay, light. The moon, while not as bright as the sun, still provides light, still allows us to see, okay, it still guides us. And the fact that that is connected with the Nine of Swords, which is a consumption of darkness and, feeling overwhelmed by the darkness. I feel that there's a good mixture of positive and negative energies this month. Negative energies in terms of stress and like feeling overwhelmed. Feeling overwhelmed and yet also a little bit fearful of committing to a direction or committing to some form of choice, right? This is you, Queen of Pentacles. I think that the next next month or few weeks or the next couple months, there's going to be you're going to be surrounded by new opportunities, right? New opportunities for information. Things are going to come to light. You're going to understand things. You're going to have a very sharp mind, I feel. I mean, this is a card of victory, right? And having the opportunities in which to I'm going to use the phrase have the upper hand, even though that's not technically, doesn't really apply, but where you might feel a little bit empowered, a little bit powerful, okay? And the opportunities will come in. The universe there's no shortage of opportunities. They come and they go. It's whether or not you want to take these opportunities and the place that these potential opportunities have in your life. New adventure, new journeys, exploring some sort of a passion or introducing a new hobby into your life. It could be very basic. It could also be in terms of travel and moving and seeing new places and, a whole wide variety of good things coming into your life. And I think that the good that comes into your life will help to shed light on maybe some of the fears, some of the stress, and give you a little bit of guidance, right? It's a reminder that life is joyful. It is meant to be lived to its fullest. It is meant to be happy. It is meant to be lived. I mean, it's your life. And sometimes the Queen of Pentacles, she can be very, very so focused on the day, so focused on the tasks at hand, and so focused on her own internal responsibilities and what she's very good at holding herself accountable and very good at, creating things. But she's not so good at jumping off the cliff because she is a pentacle, she is an earth sign. Earth signs in general are more cautious in nature. They're much more slow moving. They don't have as much flow as a water sign, right? They're more rigid. They hold themselves to more rigid standards, which there's nothing wrong with that. Makes the Four of Pentacles in the last reading make a little bit more sense. But, it does kind of prevent, it is kind of like you are holding yourself back in a way from experiencing the fullness of the goodness of these opportunities that come in. But I think you will take hold of them. I think you will let them into your life. And that these opportunities and these good things, whether it's information or having information is really coming to my visuals here, like just an overall sense of clarity in something, clarity in direction of your life. I don't see work specific here, but it can speak to you in terms of work. It can speak to, we've all kind of had a tumultuous September. There were so many things going on this month in terms of planets and eclipses and full moons and retrogrades and all sorts of stuff. And, we're all sort of in this new direction with this. We've all been sort of like cleansed almost, and are given now the opportunity to step fresh. I like that the Nine of Swords is in reverse, because it means a lessening of that stress, a lessening of that pain and that anguish and that sadness. And that, again, I feel that there is sort of a replacement happening where the dark is being replaced by the light. And the light is the good things coming into your life. And that there will be optimism around you. There will be a sense of excitement around you. Even though you may be skeptical, you may be afraid. Okay, 10 of Pentacles tells me that, you're not totally in the clear. Maybe 10 of Wands, that maybe there are, things that still need to be done. You can't completely forget your day-to-day life and just go, quit your job and go live on an island somewhere. We'd all love to do that. But in reality, there are things that still need to be done. But I feel that these things can still be done with this happier, lighter note. The choice is yours, how you want to view something. If you want to dwell on the bad things in your life, then you're going to maybe attract more bad things. But if you want to dwell on the happy, good things in your life, then you might attract bigger and better things. Not to say that you're going to completely have only one or the other. You will have both. But focus is important here. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune, again, always my favorite card. That the hands of the universe are in the pot of your life, and they're mixing things up and setting up the right people in the right places in the right time for you, specifically to have, fill in the blank, to have what it is you want. Okay, to have the right job that you want, to have the right education that you want, to have the travel experience or the beefed up resume or whatever. Like, things are setting themselves up in very specific ways. Right? And I do feel like you are kind of in this, it's kind of like the yellows tying them together, right? Queen of Pentacles, the Fool reverse, and now Three of Wands reverse. Threes also about opportunity, about new life. And however, when the Three of Wands is reversed, I sense that there is waiting. You are waiting for something. You are waiting for things to come to you. This can be very dangerous. It can be a very precarious situation because you don't want to wait too long, and you might not even know exactly what it is you're waiting for. And you may be waiting and letting things surpass you. So have an open mind. Okay, open mind, center of the reading. Things will make sense, okay? These swords are pointing to clarity. The stress and the anguish, they will come together. They will come full circle, all right? You haven't been working for nothing. You haven't been exerting energy for nothing, Okay, it's all for a purpose. Okay, so I don't know. I wish it was a little bit more positive, and there's so many positive things about this reading. Oh, and we got the star, which is great. Okay, wish fulfillment, and feeling secure. Okay. Let me shuffle a couple more times. Whoops. And there's that Four of Pentacles again, and the Queen of Wands, okay, which is good. I feel that that's you still. So you're coming out with the Cups, you're coming out with the Pentacles and the Wands, which is giving you a nice, well-rounded type of personality this month, and things, it's not so heavily weighted in one area, right? Like you have the passion and the drive to make things happen. And you have the ability to do the day-to-day, the boring things, in order to get to that bigger picture, right? Especially in terms of work. This is big long-term goals. If you're building a business, if you're looking for a promotion, it is building the skills, going to school, getting the certificates or the designations or whatever it is that you need to do to put yourself in that upper tier to get you bumped up to that next level. Yes, it may be stressful, but yes, it will be worth it. Four of Pentacles, it indicates your steadfastness, okay? Just because, oops, sorry, my cat. Just because, a lot of times I use the word stubborn with the Four of Pentacles, but stubbornness can be good if what it is you're stubborn about is something productive and something that is holding yourself up to a higher standard so that you can either progress in this world monetarily or in terms of your status, making yourself bigger, better, and more important. And just overall, in general, happier and having the things that you wish for. Opportunities are coming in to lead you toward this wish, these goals and aspirations that you have for yourself. And also, you are taking on a very perfect personality, Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and even the Cups. You are taking on so much and doing so much, and luckily you have universal support behind you as your backwind pushing you forward. So it is truly up to you. Like I said, you can get lost and wallow in the darkness, or you can celebrate and take advantage of the light. Okay? The choice really is yours. You have work to do. You have things that need to be taken care of. Don't take those responsibilities lightly because they are leading you where you want to go. Don't wait so long that you overlook the opportunities that are right in front of you. Okay? I'm going to leave you with that. Cancer, thank you so much. I really am grateful that you're here. Thank you so much, and I will see you next month in November, or for November. All right, bye.